Thank you, Ian. Good morning, everyone. Wow, that's a great welcome. Thank you. I knew I will be following Ian, so we spoke about 3 months ago. And he said, Manoj, come over, give a talk on AI. And I said, I'm going to be following Ian. What should I talk about what he has not covered already? So I said, being a practitioner of AI, what do? I went to ChatGPT. I said, I'm going to be the second speaker at an event. The first speaker is invariably likely to talk everything about AI. What should I do? Can you give me some suggestions? He said, hey, why don't you talk and give some stories? It's very unlikely he will repeat the same story as you. I said, great. Can you recommend me some stories? He said, you can look for recommendations from great pieces of English literature. Can you give me some suggestions? I said. He said, hey, give me 10 suggestions. A Tale of Two Cities. The best of times, the worst of times. It also gave me the suggestion of The Great Gatsby. I latched onto it. I said, it really reflects what I want to talk about. Talk about the opportunities, talk about the challenges, talk about what potential exists for us. Now, this book, The Great Gatsby, was written somewhere in the 1920s. And in the 1920s, what was it about? It was the roaring 20s. It was the era of the Industrial Revolution. Ford Motor Company was at its peak. The imagination was that every American can own a car. We'll make it that cheap. The economy was doing extremely well. It was also an era in which prohibition was introduced. It was also an era in which the flapper style of dressing had taken charge. Jazz music was there. It was a very, very exciting era. It is in this background and context that The Great Gatsby, the movie, was made. And the protagonist in the movie is Jay Gatsby. And he is everything that America represents, the dream, the aspiration, the ambition of what potential exists. Very similar to what AI, if you think about AI, it says, oh, we will create a great new world of aspiration and ambition and abundance. Right? It also reflects many of the challenges, because at that time there was the challenge of ethics. Prohibition was introduced. Alcohol was being sold. There were concerns about society. So the protagonist, Jay Gatsby, also, he has this desire and aspiration to win back Daisy, if you remember the movie. An unfulfilled promise, the challenges associated with it. And you think about what is happening with AI and the aspiration and the ambition, what these world-class, global technology leaders are talking about, the potential of technology. AI has the potential to unlock the full future of abundance for us. Speaker after speaker, technology company after technology company talks about it. Why is it so interesting? Why this time? Why today? Right? So what is really AI? Let's define AI briefly. AI is about a machine pretending to do everything that humans can do. The only difference being that it will be doing better than human. That is the difference. It will never get tired. It can work 24/7. The best human beings, Einstein had an IQ, I think, of 160. There are some tasks that ChatGPT can do. Today has a capability of IQ of 160. In a few years, that IQ is going to get to 400. So imagine if each one of us had an Einstein sidekick, what that potential could mean. And imagine if you didn't have that Einstein sidekick, what it could mean to you. Right? So what happened really? What has changed so much? Because I started studying AI way back 30 years ago in college. But something changed in 2017. There was one chess program called AlphaZero that beat another chess program called Stockfish. Now, chess programs, one beat another, it happens quite often. It has happened so many times in human history. Why so exciting about this particular program beating another program? You see, there was one fundamental difference. Stockfish, like all the previous eras of chess program, learned from human beings. It learned how to play chess based on the pre-programmed moves of grandmasters. That is how I had learned AI. That is how I had practiced AI. But Alpha Zero was taught a completely different set of play. Alpha Zero was only given the rules of chess and told, go ahead and compete, but make sure you don't lose. Go through all the permutations and combinations. They didn't teach it to play based on how other human beings were playing for the last 1,500 years. And guess what? Alpha Zero defeated Stockfish 28 times, drew 72 times, lost none. Right? So here is a computer now that has incredible potential to beat every human being. No human being has ever defeated Alpha Zero to date. Right? So that is the potential of this technology. So much so that Gary Kasparov, world-class champion, he said, chess has been shaken to its roots. Now, this particular technology is going to get democratized, and that's what we are seeing. It is getting democratized at a frantic pace. And it is happening because now suddenly technology has become easy to consume because algorithms have got great. There's a wide range of data that is available. It is being fed to the computer, and there is computing power. Alpha Zero was only given 4 hours to learn how to use this, how to run the complications, run the algorithm to go ahead and beat Stockfish. You can see the power of the technology that ChatGPT took just 2 months to hit about 100 million users. Just 2 months. It's that easy. So you go back, if you go back to 2007, the iPhone moment, right? What Steve Jobs did was made it easy for us to access a range of technologies through that singular device. When he introduced the iPhone, he said, today I'm introducing 3 wonderful things. I'm introducing a revolutionary phone, I'm introducing a new music iPod, large screen, and third, I'm introducing a revolutionary internet communication device. You can see now 20 years, almost, 2007 to today, roughly about 17, 18 years, how we consume internet, information, entertainment, music, finance, investment, everything has changed. Now, what is even more commendable is when the iPhone was launched, there were only about 500 apps on that app store. When Google Play Store was launched a couple of years later, there were only 18,000 apps. When ChatGPT was launched, their app store was launched, there were 3 million apps. 3 million. So you can imagine the sheer volume of innovation that is there on that platform. Anything and everything we can potentially imagine. And this is just day one. This is day one of this new innovation platform. So what makes GenAI so great? What makes it so great is, number one, it is so easy to use. They made it accessible. It is almost like the iPhone moment for AI, the ease of consumption. Second, for the first time, it is now capable of generating new content. It is not going back to just the old content. Just like I told you at the beginning, give me some inspiration for ideas. And it gave me the idea, the great AI Gatsby. This is new content. This never existed anywhere before. It has the potential to tell stories. Human beings were known because the difference for human beings were we were able to tell stories. Stories pass on to generation. Now AI is creating new stories. And finally, it is created on a wide range of parameters which allows it to be used for a range of different tasks. So now this gave the birth to AI. So AI now you can use it for, as a co-pilot, Microsoft Copilot or Gemini or any of these applications. It can automate significant level of business processes. It can be a creative content partner, just like you have seen me start using it. And that is just the beginning. I have used it in a very simplistic manner. And it can protect, it can explain, it can drive enormous amounts of productivity. And people are using GenAI for a range of different applications. If you are in HR, I need to create a job description. I can now create it in minutes. I don't need to spend a day trying to come up with the perfect job description with the perfect language to be able to do it. I can provide better customer service, which is very human, which is intuitive, which is easy to use. Companies use it as a one-stop employee experience hub, because the easiest way to start piloting is use it with employee teams before you expose customers to ChatGPT. Or you can use it as a call center agent assistant. Let me give you a few examples. The first use case, the first company, among the first companies to use Gen AI effectively was Expedia. And they demonstrated the full potential of that technology. They said, you come into the Expedia app and you no longer need to do everything individually. I could go and tell Expedia, hey Expedia, I want to plan a trip to Paris and France. I want to spend 10 days. I want to stay in 4-star hotels. I want to drive all the way from Paris to Nice. I want to stay not more than 2 days in every location. Can you please plan the itinerary and do the hotel bookings for me? It can do it in a minute. I would take weeks, I would talk to my friends. It would be such an arduous exercise. One of the first examples of using ChatGPT. Other telecom companies like in Asia, SK Telecom, they're one of the most innovative telecom companies in the world. They provide a range of applications from music to entertainment to content to commerce. They created their own chatbot to say, hey, how can this chatbot be a productivity enabler for every single of their customer? They called it .A. Enabling customers to become more productive in the use of communication software, solutions, services, media, and entertainment, being virtually an assistant to the customer. Yet another example, DBS Bank, as you know, is one of the world's foremost banks when it comes to using technology. They have now deployed over 350 machine learning and AI use cases for a wide range of applications, right from things like call center, in which you record every call conversation. Now the call center agent can summarize the conversation in a matter of seconds, review it, use that to provide you much better customer experience, or to help process a home loan, or to be able to do things far more efficiently. In Indonesia, the telecom company Indosat realized that, hey, it is not enough for us to be able to use the global AI models, we need to develop our own. Because you need to build it in context of the Indonesian culture, the Indonesian environment, the local language dialects, and meet the needs of every Indonesian. So they've developed their own small language model called Sahabat AI. So people are innovating these services at a frantic pace. My own company, Twimbit, we have decided to use and say, let's build an advisory platform that helps our customers leverage AI more effectively. So we built our own Ask Buddy. Buddy is a sidekick to every employee in Twimbit, which supports us to write our research better. I used to have editors who would proofread and clean up every single word written. Now Buddy takes care of all the language corrections and makes a very simple analyst working in a remote part of India suddenly write great quality English content, leveraging his full knowledge of technology and understanding of technology. So also we introduced things like Ask, where customers no longer need to read every single report. You can just go and ask a query. It will go through multiple reports and answer your question, all authenticated, validated by us. When you look at AI, I think there are 3 distinct stages of adoption. Why do we need AI? Clearly, one big objective of AI, as Ian mentioned, is productivity. How can I improve productivity? How can I, everybody wants to reduce cost. Right? And that first stage of adoption, we call it being AI ready. I will use AI more efficiently so that I can drive improvements in productivity, drive my costs down, and do things that I couldn't do before. The second stage, I call it being AI native. That means intrinsically, I behave like an AI native company. It's not just adopting AI, but natively thinking about products, business processes, services, and solutions like an AI native company. And third is to AI reimagined. Can I reimagine the entire customer need using AI? Right? Let me walk you through a specific example of each of them. Let's start with the first one, what it means to be AI ready. So you have the luxury cars, the Volvos, the Audis, the Mercedes-Benzes, now the Toyotas and the Lexuses of this world. To be AI ready, what they did is they started giving you parking assist solutions. So that, if you struggle with parallel parking like me, I don't need to worry. Now I can use my car autopilot to drive it. Right? That is being AI ready. Second is to become AI native, the likes of Teslas of this world who are saying, let's create autonomous cars. So for lazy people like my friend Scott Friedman here, He can sit in the car and he can enjoy a free ride, and he doesn't have to worry because his driving is worse off than the autonomous car. Right? Now, what does it mean to reimagine AI? Because the same autonomous vehicle is same as an autonomous robot. So now Tesla and the likes of Tesla are saying, we will create autonomous robots using the same technology. He's currently using this technology in his factories. Right? He's going to make this technology available. Let's look at a specific use cases of different kinds of stages of AI. So let's start with the banking industry. So what does it mean to be AI ready in the banking industry? So you have OCBC Bank, one of the leading banks in Singapore, and they have been at the forefront of being AI ready. All their 30,000 employees now have access to OCBC GPT. Because it's a bank, they have to be secure, they have to be compliant, they cannot go and use the public version of AI. So they created their own version of AI. It is private, it is ring-fenced, so it is secure and it is compliant, and all employees now can access it. They also created variations of this so that it is purpose-built to meet different needs. So they created OCBC Wingman. It is a coding assistant. Almost 70% of the best codes in the world are now written using AI. It is driving employee productivity of developers very significantly. Right? They have OCBC Whisper. In the call center, every conversation is now recorded, transcribed, summarized, so that you can look for process anomalies, etc. They've created OCBC Buddy, just like Twimbit Buddy, to create a chatbot which provides information to the employees. They've created Document AI. So here is an example of being AI ready. A bank is AI ready. Now, what does it mean to be AI native? How would an AI native bank operate? Okay, I said, okay, let's take a crack at it. I said, AI native bank, what is it? What is the most AI native application we use? The most AI native application we use is TikTok or Instagram video. You hardly give it any information, but it learns about you. You consume it ferociously for hours at a time, right? Children spend 4 or 5 hours a day consuming very fine-tuned content based on their needs, their preferences, based on how many seconds or microseconds you spend on each piece of content. Can banking be that seamless? Why should I wake up and go to the bank? It's the most boring thing in the world to do. The bank should come to me. Why should I even open a banking app to do a banking transaction? I should be able to do a banking transaction where I am. If I'm inside a TikTok app, I should be able to do it. That is AI native. Can it be safe and secure? That is AI native. Because our biggest challenge with digital banking is it is not safe and secure. Right? So that is thinking AI native. Now, what does it mean to be AI reimagined for banking? Okay, I said, let me take a crack at it. What is the responsibility of the bank? The responsibility of the bank is not to make money for the bank. The responsibility of the bank is to make money for me. Right? So can it create a co-pilot to say, hey, Manoj, what are your financial needs? Let me work and let me manage this process very efficiently. Let me file for your loan application. Let me make sure you have the lowest interest rate. I will be your assistant. I will support you. I will make this future happen for you. There are already many investment tools. We have already seen some signs of this already beginning to come in. Many investment platforms are beginning to work because they have matched the algorithm to be able to make more efficient use of our resources. Today, the richest people in the world have access to it. Very soon, you and I will also have access to it. There are also many multitude of trends. This is Rosie O. This is not the future. This is today. I don't know how many of you know Rosie O. Rosie O is a virtual influencer in South Korea. She made $3 million of revenue last year. She's not even a real person. Yeah? She's got a personality. They have defined her persona extremely well. Some of the biggest companies in Korea are using her for endorsements. She's taking away your and my job. Now, Rosie is not alone. There is Kyra in India. There is Ima in Japan. And there is over 50,000 of them on the Instagram today. 50,000 of them. Very soon it will be 50 million. The ability and the future opportunities associated with AI, what we are looking at is, Elon Musk has said within the next 5 to 6 years, he's saying another 3 iterations, because he's already got his robot, which he's using in his factories. He's saying in 3 other iterations, every 18 months. So in approximately 5 to 6 years, he believes that there will be an AI assistant for everyone on this planet. He believes he can bring it down to as low as 20,000 US dollars. So almost like owning a car. So we all will have our own robot. And he believes it will be multi-purpose. You will not have individual robots for cleaning the house or riding a car. He believes that the future is human beings, we are multi-purpose. So our assistant should be multi-purpose. That is the future he's looking at. Right? Today, when you think about ChatGPT, what do? We say text to text, right? You give in text, it comes with text. Or you give in text, at best it creates a beautiful video. Very soon it will be text to anything. That means you can tell ChatGPT, hey, can you please make a mobile app for me? It will make it for you. Can you make a cup of coffee for me? It will do it for you. Very soon, they will bring the cost of everything down to zero. A digital twin. Wouldn't it be cool to have a digital twin of each of us? A digital twin of me, which I can look and understand and say, hey, this is where you messed up in your presentation. Hey, you take care of your health. This is what you need to do. Right? These are the possibilities that are going to emerge very, very soon. So this is all the rosy side, the future of abundance, the future of opportunity, the future of great creativity. Right? But there is also the tough side. So if you remember the movie, he looks at the island. He's looking at his girlfriend. He wants to win her over. But he's also created this illusion of happiness. He's created this illusion around him of what he is. It's not even real. And that is potentially the challenge with AI. Right? It can be all illusion. We don't know what is real, what is not real. There is huge risk associated with technology. The biggest challenge we have now is we don't know what is real news, what is not real news. When you look at news, we can't tell. You and I have a job. Our opportunity is to decipher what is real. Because earlier, Google used to give me options to choose of information. Now, ChatGPT is lying to me confidently, isn't it? Just like Donald Trump does it. Right? He learned it. He was ahead of ChatGPT. He won a US election. Right? Then fraud and scam. We have, the amount of fraud and scam can only grow now. Because the technology that you and I have access to, unfortunately, they also have access to. You can create huge amounts of potential unemployment. But these were risks that existed. People talked about this risk in the past as well. But we all prevailed. We all guided it correctly so that we could make the most of it. There's a risk of extreme inequality. Today, only one company makes all the profits from AI. Do you know which company? Only NVIDIA makes money. Microsoft, Google, nobody makes money. They are investing billions and billions of dollars. There is inequality. In the past, you could be an agriculture farmer, and if you used a little bit of extra tools, you drove better productivity. And if you're a landowner, you made more money than other people. But now, with technology, that inequality will grow. You can now be a trillionaire easily. Very soon, you will have the world's first trillionaire, because he or she will have access to more technology than other people. So there are significant boardroom issues that we all need to contend with. First, the ability to succeed with AI is about democratizing innovation at scale. It is not about the CEO sitting and deciding, okay, that team will go and work on AI. No, we got to enable everybody in the company, every division in the company, every business unit, every employee to use it effectively. That's where you will drive that competitive advantage. It's about enhancing and being AI native in how you develop new products and services. Creating the intellectual property. That is where the differentiation and value will happen. Because very soon, the difference between one bank and the other, or one car and the other, will be almost zero. Because we'll all have access to the same technology. Right? And governance and sustainability will become big themes. So you start by defining a strategy, then organize your data more effectively, create the talent and skills. We need to ferociously invest in building our talent. Because there will be people that you use AI will replace people that you don't use AI. It's very, very simple. And we need to do it at scale with the right as responsibility and governance. So, what should you do about it? What do you do after you walk out today? The first thing we need to do is we need to learn how to use it. We need to start using it, open up that, if nothing else, open ChatGPT and think. Just like I thought about making my presentation, and first thing I did was go and ask ChatGPT, can you give me suggestions? Are you doing that for every single activity that you do? Is your team doing that for every single activity that you do? That is the number one thing we need to do. Right? Number two is organize teams to drive projects and initiatives so that you can use it effectively to transform product and service experiences. Embrace failure. Nothing is, there is too much failure happening, but that is not a reason to not try it. We got to experiment. That is why the number of projects you see are very internal focused rather than customer focused. A great way to experiment and get started. Right? Some companies will use AI tools, like you can use ChatGPT, others will train the AI models, like you saw Sahabat AI in Indonesia. Yet some others will develop their own AI models, industry-specific models for insurance, for real estate, for plantations, for oil and gas, for public speaking, for virtual influencers. People will create a number of these innovations. There's no one right approach. You need to choose what makes sense for each of us. And then we need to apply governance and risk and sustainability to drive it better. So we just don't have a choice, right? Just like, you had the horse carriages to steam engine. You saw that, horses would get tired after every 15, 20, 30 kilometers. A steam engine never gets tired. It changed how cities were organized, how companies were organized. None of the horse carriage manufacturers made it to the next stage. So we have a choice to be able to participate and play this extremely well. So I think, AI is no longer about saying that AI is going to change even fields of creativity. It is generating great music. You said AI could not do what humans do, write poetry. I asked recently to say, hey, can you write a song that Taylor Swift would have written if she broke up with the American football player? And it wrote a beautiful song for me, right? We don't need musicians, maybe. We need to learn the right prompts so that it can create great content that supports our line of thinking. So we got to adopt it at a range of magnitude. I'm very excited about what this possibility is, but we got to use it correctly so that we can drive great value. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to speak to all of you. I hope I have provoked you enough so that you start thinking about it more ambitiously as you look at embracing AI into your respective businesses. Thank you. Thank you, Jan.